There is a specific quiet kind of violence that happens to a person when they cross the age of 60. It isn't a physical blow, but a social and psychological one. For 40 years, you were defined by what you did. You were a provider, a professional, a parent, a pillar of a community. Your identity was anchored to your utility. But then the phone stops ringing with problems to solve. Your children start giving you advice rather than seeking it. The world begins to look at you, or worse, look through you, as if your most important chapters have already been written. You become, in the eyes of a fast-moving society, a ghost in the machine. Most people respond to this invisibility by retreating. They accept the cultural script that says this is the time to fade out, to seek maximum comfort, and to let the mind drift into a soft, hazy twilight of leisure and distraction. They spend the remaining decades of their lives waiting for the end rather than living what is left. But the Stoics, 2,000 years ago, saw this period of life very differently. To Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, the years after 60 were not a retirement from life, but the beginning of the final, most elite stage of human training. They believed that when the external noise of the world finally falls silent, you are left with the only thing that ever truly mattered: your character. This is the season of the inner citadel. How you choose to inhabit your mind during these years determines whether you will merely exist until you die, or whether you will flourish with a vitality that puts younger men and women to shame. Today we are exploring the 7 Stoic rules for navigating life after 60, a blueprint for rebuilding your mind, your body, and your spirit into something unshakable. Stay with me until the very end, because the 7th rule is the most difficult to hear. Yet it is the only one that can grant you true, lasting peace in an uncertain world. Welcome back to the home of timeless wisdom. If you are seeking to turn the second half of your life into a masterpiece of resilience and purpose, consider joining this community. We translate the hard-won insights of the ancient masters into a language you can use today, specifically for the moments when life asks you its most honest and difficult questions. To understand the Stoic approach to the later years, we must first confront the great lie of modern retirement. We are sold a vision of leisure as the ultimate goal, the permanent vacation. But the Roman Stoic Seneca warned his friend Lucilius that leisure without a focused mind is nothing more than the burial of a living man. He understood that when a human being stops being challenged, they don't just rest, they begin to rot. The mind is like a vessel. If it isn't filled with something meaningful, it will inevitably fill itself with rot, anxiety, and the fear of mortality. Statistics today back at this ancient intuition. The sharpest increase in cognitive decline and depression often occurs in the 18 months following retirement. Why? Because without a why to rise for, the how of living becomes too heavy to bear. The Stoics argued that we are built for function, not for comfort. Marcus Aurelius famously reminded himself in his journals that even the plants, the birds, the ants, and the spiders go about their individual tasks, putting the world in order as best they can. And you, he asked himself, are you not willing to do your work as a human being? Purpose is the oxygen of the aging mind. Without it, you aren't just retired, you are retreating. Rule number 1, the discipline of the morning blueprint. When you had a career, your mornings were organized by necessity. Now, they must be organized by philosophy. The lack of an external schedule is the greatest danger you face. To the Stoic, the morning is the time to build the inner armor, Before the world can reach you through the television or the internet, you must sit with yourself. Ask, what virtues will I be called to practice today? Perhaps your body will feel stiff. You will need the virtue of endurance. Perhaps a family member will test your patience. You will need the virtue of self-control. Do not leave your character to chance. By rehearsing your reactions to life's inevitable frictions before you leave your bed, you ensure that you remain the master of your soul, regardless of what the day brings. You are no longer an old person waiting for things to happen. You are a philosopher king preparing for the day's governance. Rule number 2, the pursuit of voluntary discomfort. As we age, our world tends to shrink down to the size of our comforts. We seek the warmest room, the softest chair, the easiest path. We become slaves to our own convenience. Seneca believed that we should periodically practice poverty or discomfort to remind ourselves that we are stronger than our circumstances. Once a week, do something that makes your body protest. Take a cold shower, go for a long walk in weather that isn't quite perfect, or spend a day eating only the simplest, plainest food. This isn't about punishment, it's about sovereignty. When you prove to yourself that you can be content even when things are uncomfortable, you lose your fear of the future. You realize that as long as your mind is intact, you have everything you need. You become a person who cannot be threatened by the hardships of aging because you have already mastered them by choice. Rule number 3, the dichotomy of control in the physical body. There is a unique frustration in watching a body that was once capable begin to fail or slow down. Most people spend their 60s and 70s in a state of constant low-grade mourning for the body they used to have. Epictetus, who was himself physically disabled, taught that this is a waste of a life. He taught the dichotomy of control. Some things are up to us and some are not. You cannot control the march of time, the graying of hair, or the slowing of your step. To fight against these is to fight against nature, a battle you will lose every time. However, you have absolute control over your attitude toward your body. You can control your diet, your discipline in exercise, and your refusal to complain. Do not resent the body you have. Respect it by using it to its absolute limit, whatever that limit may be today. A person who exercises within their limitations is far more a Stoic than one who pines for a youth that is gone. Rule number 4. Reading as an active dialogue. In the second half of life, the quality of your company matters more than the quantity. Many retirees find their social circles shrinking, which can lead to a sense of isolation. But the Stoic is never alone if they have their books. However, you must not read to pass the time. That is a consumer's mindset. You must read to sharpen the blade. Seneca suggested that we should claim the great thinkers of the past as our own ancestors. When you read the Stoic masters, you are entering a dialogue. Don't just read a page, argue with it. Take a single thought, like the impediment to action advances action, and spend 3 hours seeing how it applies to your current life. Reading is the training ground for the mind. It keeps your vocabulary sharp, your perspective wide, and your soul in the company of giants. Rule number 5, the duty of generative mentorship. There is a toxic idea in modern culture that once you are done working, you are done. The Stoics believe the opposite, that the elder has a profound social duty. You have decades of scar tissue that has turned into wisdom. You have survived things that would break a younger person, and if you keep that wisdom to yourself, it is a form of theft from the next generation. Mentorship is the highest calling of the retired life, whether it is through formal volunteering, helping a younger family member, or simply being the one person in your neighborhood who listens with a steady, unjudging heart. You must be a light for others. In teaching others how to navigate life's storms, you solidify your own resilience. You transform your past struggles into a map for someone else's future. This is how a Stoic achieves a form of immortality, by planting seeds in the minds of the young. Rule number 6. The active love of fate, or amor fati. Amor fati is not just acceptance. It is a fiery, active love for everything that life throws at you. Most people spend their later years saying, "I wish I had done this," or "I wish my health were better." This is a rejection of reality. The Stoic says, "I love that this is happening because it is exactly what I need to practice virtue." If you are facing a period of solitude, love it as an opportunity for deep reflection. If you are facing a physical ailment, love it as a chance to show the world how a brave person handles pain. Marcus Aurelius wrote that a strong stomach digests all food, and a strong fire turns everything into flame. Your life, exactly as it is right now, with all its flaws and limitations, is the perfect training ground. Nothing is an obstacle, everything is fuel. Rule number 7, the daily practice of memento mori. We arrive at the final rule, the one that modern society considers depressing or morbid, but which the Stoics considered the ultimate source of joy and clarity. You must remind yourself every single day that you are mortal. You must look at the setting sun and realize that you have one fewer day in your account. Why? Because the awareness of death is the only thing that gives life its true flavor. When you know that your time is finite, you stop wasting it on trivial arguments. You stop caring about the superficial opinions of strangers. You start seeing the incredible beauty in a simple cup of coffee, a conversation with a friend, or the way the light hits a tree in the afternoon. After 60, mortality is no longer a theoretical concept. It is a neighbor. Do not hide from it. Invite it in. Let the awareness of your end be the reason you live with such incredible intensity and kindness today. A person who is ready to die at any moment is the only person who is truly free to live. Look at your life as it stands today. Are you retreating, or are you advancing? Are you filling your hours with distraction, or are you building your inner citadel? I want to hear your story. Which of these rules is the hardest for you to follow, and which one will you commit to starting this week? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We are a community of people who believe that the second half of life should be the most powerful, and your voice is a vital part of that journey. If this video gave you the perspective you needed today, please hit the like button. It is the best way to help this ancient wisdom reach others who may feel lost in the silence of their own quiet houses. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to Wisdom of the Stoics. Every week we bring you the tools to help you live a life of depth, dignity, and unshakable peace. The Stoics taught us that it is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it. You have been given the gift of years that many never see. Do not squander them in comfort. Rise, practice your virtues, and turn the rest of your life into a testament to the strength of the human spirit.